welcome bronies to the FOB Equestria Podcast, the official podcast of FOB Equestria, because that never gets old. Hosted on our TeamSpeak server, and possibly you guys might be listening to us via Ponyville Live. Thanks to them, again, for featuring our podcast, and also for all the help they gave us at Fiesta Equestria. All of our, when I say all, I mean like all three of our videos during Fiesta Equestria are up now. One of them was a podcast, so Dizzy apparently is playing Minecraft still, which is fine. It's fine, Dizzy. I love you.
My sword just broke. Oh no!
But yes, you should totally
staring at me. Okay, it's dead.
Eat him.
Anyway.
What? That is a creeper.
So yeah, podcast and 2 interviews. You should totally go check this out. This time on this podcast, we have with us Aetherius, otherwise known as I just kind of call him Matt. He's our head of music. He's new here. Say hi.
All right.
He's also It's Scottish, right?
Hi.
Aye. Okay. Just making sure I got that right. Dizziest Deef, playing Minecraft apparently.
Hating every minute of it, but hey.
Hey. And Red Sage.
Hi.
Hey, hey, hey. Stay out of my shed.
Yes.
That wouldn't go in your shed.
No.
You know, the funny thing is I have a friend who just deliberately bought a new apartment that has a shed, just so that he can say, "You're always welcome in my shed."
Really? Like, that's the
Really.
reason he got that apartment?
A good solid 20% of, yes. I don't really know what to think of that, but it's funny.
What was the other 80%?
Yeah.
Finances, location, all the other things that normally go into buying an apartment.
The fact that there's a pole in the bedroom. I bet
That would be awesome,
Freaking
actually.
awesome.
Yeah.
No, I've been to his place. He doesn't have anything that fancy, although one of them has like 20 billion flags in his room, is like 30 or 40 countries and a bunch of state flags and just about everything. He's hanging them up all over. Who needs wallpaper when you have like all the flags?
All the flags.
You have all the flags?
Ship all the flags.
Ship
No.
all the flags. That's...
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
So that reminds me, like, earlier this week, I was in FTD, which is just a training thing, and don't ask me what it stands for because I don't know. And hey, that happens. But
Dedication.
There
You're
was-
doing it wrong.
no, you don't have to know what the acronym means, only what it applies to, and it applies to training. Anyway, back on the subject, which I never even got started on. There were these foreign military nationals there. You know, as it so happens when we cross-train other military people on our hardware, and I recognized the flag on their patch, but I couldn't quite place what country it was. And this, like, bothered me a lot. So I was thinking, I knew it was kind of one of the northern European countries. I was thinking maybe, like, Sweden or Finland or, you know... And I knew it wasn't Norway, because I know what King's flag looks like. But it just was bothering me, and I eventually found it out. It was Denmark. And I was like, wasn't quite expecting Denmark, but okay, cool.
One guy in the friggin' TeamSpeak who's in the desert right now. He's in Denmark.
First Recon is...
Yeah, that guy's friggin' awesome.
Is he? I've only had limited interaction with him.
Friggin' Danish Spec Ops.
Is this the guy you were telling me about that you really thought I borrowed everything
Yes.
from? I promise I've never even met him.
I never said you did. I said you should.
You should.
Okay, well, when he gets back, let me know, and then I'll ask him to, like,
That is
just
a
go
lie.
ahead and
Recon
rewrite my
actually
code for
trained on
me.
my range. The place I'm working right now, he went there for training.
Oh.
What? Okay, so what was that? I heard your friend went somewhere for training.
Oh no, Recon was at the place.
Oh.
Yeah. The guy we're speaking about.
I see. Okay. Cool.
So he jumped on me and forced me to say a bunch of words, and he was like, "Hey, say this. Your accent's hilarious." When I don't even have an accent. You all have accents. I don't.
I think Spangle will agree with me. We're from Colorado. Absolutely no accents.
You have accents. You all sound American.
Well,
Fair enough.
actually, I kind of understand what Red is saying. it's weird because like when I was at the academy,
Mountains.
very few people like had what I would term an accent. By like my senior year, everyone kind of sounded the same. And it's funny because we had like people from Texas and people from Tennessee. And apparently Dizzy's about to die. Are you going to be okay, Dizzy?
Creeper.
So
I
yeah.
murdered it. It's okay.
Mike didn't pick that up. Let's try again.
So
That's not how they sound.
if you haven't figured it out yet, we don't really have any
I'm trapped in a corner.
list of topics. We're kind of just going at this.
Okay, well, then can I bring up the one and only realistic thing I've got? Because let's not visit all the random crud I spitballed out before the podcast.
Okay.
For those of you who have found the website TV Tropes.
TV Tropes, indeed. It's a good
And
site.
I've
That's
wasted
another creeper. Why is that another creeper?
a solid 20 or 30 of my hours of my life on this site. They even have a trope for their own site called TV Tropes Will Ruin Your Life. And it's kind of sad. It's like going on Wikipedia. 4 hours later, you find yourself researching about neutron stars, and now I can tell you that if you drop something from a meter up on an average neutron star, you'll impact at several thousand miles an hour. It's absolutely useless, and will never be relevant, but same
yes.
thing, but for a literature wiki. And some of this stuff is actually useful, especially if you're an emerging writer like myself. And then there's the worst part of being pegged by other people, Dizzy, for overusing and or abusing some of the tropes on here. And right now, I'm looking at a subpage of what they call the Tropes of Legend. And if you're a new writer or new to the site, this is where you should go first. This isn't something I found until after a year of using this site, but the Tropes of Legend these are the ones that are so common, so important. We see them in every good story. They're there in Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and what have you. And so I go through, and one of the very first ones on the list is a trope called applied phlebtonium. Can I get a guess from anybody in the room who hasn't read this what that might be?
I haven't read it. Applied
Again?
phlebtonium. That is what he said. Applied.
I'm gonna say
phlebtonium.
something along the lines of like unobtainium, a rare precious
unobtainium
metal that
is a case.
everyone wants.
Unobtainium is a case of applied phlebtonium. In fact, I bet if I scroll down the list here, unobtainium, what do you know? And it's right in between truth serums and upgrade artifact.
So basically, stuff invented for the purpose.
Oh yes, let me read you the definition. Applied phlebtonium, noun. No, I'm just kidding. Phlebtonium is the versatile substance that may be rubbed on almost anything to cause an effect needed by a plot. Examples include, but are not limited to, nanotechnology, magic crystal
Mate, can I
emanations.
stop you there?
Yeah?
Just from those two sentences, you've actually hurt my face. My
Hurt
right
your
eye
face.
is twitching now because of you. Thank you very much, Sage. Carry on.
Was it the accent or the fake announcer voice or?
It was the announcer voice, I think.
Okay, continuing on.
Continuing on.
Pixie dust, a sonic screwdriver, and green rocks. In essence, it is plot fuel.
Yay!
And,
Sonic screwdrivers are awesome.
I'm just going to read 4 or 5 pages I picked out of their giant list of 200 some examples on here of amulet of concentrated awesome, artistic license, specifically for chemistry, depleted phlebtonium shells. That's probably my personal favorite. Deus ex nukina.
Nukina.
Duct tape for everything, and were those wires important?
Duct tape is like the best thing mankind has ever created.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this, and this is all the bad things that you've seen in a story for it works because of this. I myself am guilty of using this several times. I've seen just about every writer fall prey to this at one point or another, and it's good.
It works because plot.
It works because plot.
Well, the most common one I see in pony fiction is it's magic. I ain't gotta explain. You get the idea.
Pretty much.
It's magic. Believe you, muggle.
There you go. The unicorns built it. It has to work.
Magic, therefore no questions.
Therefore,
Because
no
unicorn
questions at all.
master race.
No, Pegasus master race. Sure.
I don't know about either of those. Just
I don't really want to take part in a flame war today.
Oh, but I tried so hard, and I brought flamethrowers for everyone. Please tell me there's
I don't
someone in
need
the room
your
with an alicorn
flamethrower.
OC.
I've got like 5 of my own.
I know you don't, and Spangle doesn't, so...
no Pegasus.
Nope, I think everyone here's a Pegasus with the exception of Matt. Matt, do you have an alicorn OC?
Oh yes, all the alicorn, all the time.
All right.
Nah, man, nah.
No,
Pegasus ain't cool. It just ain't cool.
Oh.
Oh, but who wouldn't want to fly? Also, Dizzy's is a Pegasus. I never paid that close of attention, if I'm being honest.
My OC is in fact a Pegasus, but I had to think long and hard about whether I wanted to have Pegasus or replacement for Finger. So why is there freaking plants growing underground?
But all three of you are Air Force, aren't you?
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
Correct.
Well,
It may have
exactly.
something to do with it.
That's why Pegasus.
But no, honestly, my first OC I ever made, which is no longer my OC, I guess is the way I
No
put
longer
it.
canon to Spangle.
No longer canon to Spangle. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. But the first pony I ever created was a unicorn because I thought magic, it's so useful, and that was the practical side of me. But then the other less practical side of me said, if I really had to choose, I would be a Pegasus because I would want to fly too goddamn much.
And
yes,
nobody
exactly.
ever chooses Earth.
No one ever chooses Earth ponies.
Well, practicing
gonna
MMA
happen.
wrestling, man, was not that big a part of my life. You want
At
to
the
win,
end
but
of season
flying.
4, everyone becomes a princess except Applejack.
Oh.
Ah. That makes me sad.
Yeah, thinking about these, on that vein, Spangle, I really thought unicorn first, and I really had a moment this summer while I was in the lab wiring electronics going, if I try to plug in this wire with my mouth, and let's just say my lab partner was a dunce and left the power supply on, I just don't see this being that great of an idea. I mean, I'm going back to the line in Allegrezza here, if you read that story. And Vinyl's just thinking here, Earth Pony musicians. Well, those are, honest to goodness, about as common as Pegasus scientists. And with that line, I was just like, oh.
I actually...
Best way to electrocute yourself ever. Stick the live wire in your mouth. See how long you last.
I actually have not read that fanfic yet. Or I haven't gone around to it. So.
And you call yourself a literature reviewer. Come on, this is like...
I only have so many hours in a day, my friend.
This story, paired with the vinyl scratch tapes, is what kicked off the fandom-wide general slaving, drooling OTP insanity about Vinyl X Octavia.
Yeah, I see that.
Record OTP!
OTP! But it's also like, I haven't technically read Fallout Equestria, or...
Yes, and that's why
That
Disney
is why
and I
you
will be
failed.
both outside of your house with shotguns in a couple of nights here.
Us, but Dizzy has. What do you mean us both?
Because I've read Fallout 2, in addition to Dizzy, and so now we both think that you must read it.
Oh, yes.
And on that note, curse you, Dizzy, because I think the rest of my summer is going goodbye with Project Horizons.
So
Probably.
just-
Words.
I just don't like for whatever reason, just the premise of Fallout Equestria isn't appealing to me, so I just keep putting it off.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just it's nothing against K-Cat or like I don't have anything against the story. I mean, I haven't even read it. How can I?
Preconceived notions, my friend.
Well, it's just I don't know what it is. It might be that.
Just you're a dick.
It's
Just
proper
haven't
huge
not-
in
or
sub
discovered
communities
it yet.
though. The Brohoof community, it's really huge. The Fallout Equestria.
There's a
fanfiction.
reason for that,
You
And
know,
I find it kind of funny that a community that normally can't sit still through a 4,000-word story that isn't Clop or bad crossover ship somehow has the patience to sit through something 150 times that long with a complex, very well-woven story. And I have to wonder how that can happen.
yeah, it's a question. All right.
And
Why
that
are there
delves
so
into
many
psychology.
creepers?
You want to know what story I really like? Is
All right,
My
what
Little
story?
Alicorn. My Little Alicorn, and then the follow-up. bringing
on my
up Blue
to-read
Blood.
list.
You should totally read it.
Isn't that the one where Luna turns Celestia back into like a foal?
Yes.
And then kind of takes care of her?
It is, actually. That's exactly the one. And I thought it was very well done. It's actually got some interesting turns and some unexpected plot devices. And
That's another creeper.
Was it like a comedy then, or?
Not really. Actually,
Aw.
it's kind of heavy. Actually,
Dark?
There's some dark moments.
I just found diamond.
I think it's chapter 15 is where things get really dark, and I like chapter 15 a lot. It's really weird, but it's a good story. One fan fiction I really need to finish, and it's probably done at this point. I don't know. I haven't checked on it in a while. Is Unmarked, and that was also a good one.
Yeah. Have you read Discord of Tubes yet? I mean, it's fairly light-hearted comedy for the most part, but it's really pretty dark in some places. Like details of how he got to this universe, and he watched his friends get like torn apart in front of him. It was pretty horrible, but
Wow,
it's a bloody good story.
it's bloody good.
It makes me think of those if you've ever seen that Venn diagram between fan fiction and My Little Pony canon. And so you got the side with My Little Pony, and it's got happy interactions between ponies, friendship, cupcakes,
Friendship.
all the nice things, dresses and all our stuff. And then you look at the one word that's in between the two, and that's ponies. Then we move over to the fan fiction side, and it has cloth, rape, murder, war, you name it.
Well,
It's like
So if I'm recalling My Little Alicorn's chapters correctly, which it's been a long time since I've read it, so I may not be. But chapter 15 is where it goes flashback to Celestia and Luna fighting Discord. And it's really, really gruesome and dark, and I kind of like it. I just like the way it's done. Honestly, it's kind of like that one part in The Age of Wings and Steel, where Celestia kind of steps onto the battlefield, and she basically sheds her mortal form, and it's the way it is done just is so badass.
Inserting TV trope here for all you tropers out there. This is called Takes a Level in Badass.
It's really cool just because she basically loses all of her compassion when she does this.
Ooh.
And she becomes just this very much she becomes more like we might possibly think a goddess would probably think. And so it's kind of, like I said, the way it is done is just, I was very impressed with it. Honestly, I was impressed with that story.
Character, I'm crazy psycho bitch.
Green text becomes Kung Fu Action Jesus.
I would not call her Kung Fu Action Jesus, because
There once was a warrior of that.
like, okay, so Celestia, we all know, very warm, very caring, very kind sort of pony.
That's what you think.
When she does this,
Sent to the moon.
when she does this, she becomes she loses touch with her mortality, and so she stops thinking of the ponies of Equestria is more or less her. I'm
Equals.
Well, yes, I wouldn't say equals, but I'd say she stops thinking about them in a caring capacity and starts thinking of them in more of a possessed, like they are her worshippers, and how dare they do this to them, and how dare the Griffins disgrace her. I don't even think she calls it a temple, because she's like, to call it that would be insulting her godliness and stuff like that, and so it becomes very harsh. And so her motivations become less about protecting the ponies in Equestria and more about, the insults the Griffins have brought onto her. And it's like I said, it's very well done. I was overall very impressed with that story.
Oh, the zombies are descending upon me.
The
The zombies are all there. This is getting bad.
And here's Dizzy providing the non sequitur for every last thing that's going to be going on.
Yes, okay. But yes,
I don't know
fanfiction
what
in
that
this...
fancy word means.
English. If it does not involve, if the letters are not there for a mathematical purpose, yeah, no.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, this fandom has produced a lot of good fan fiction, and
Definitely.
All Equestria.
and Red still needs to make his chapter 6 available for me in the
What?
form of a Google Doc. So when I
yeah.
read it, I can actually provide commentary.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's available to the world at this point.
I know it's
You can,
available to
steal
the
it as a
world.
lifestyle. I really want
He
to
wants
finish
to
chapter
insult you
7.
personally.
This was your
But-
excuse, like, when I was on Anyway, so for those unaware, I am an editor of sorts for Red, but kind of like a retroactive editor who goes through after he's published because he doesn't get it to me before he publishes it.
Has anyone ever told you you're incredibly passive aggressive? Kind of a dick.
I can be at times, but not
Don't
most
worry.
of the time.
I was the guy
Whoa.
trying to meditate the editor arguments between the two of you on the whole Snowflake story.
Yeah, speaking of which, I want some input on that anyway. But we won't be really talking about that right now. Anyway, did you have something to say?
No, just that
Scalp.
every time you brought up my story, it's kind of like, I should be working on that. And what's really stopping me from doing that is that really crappy song I sent you guys that I finished putting together, and now I'm trying to do take 2 so it's good enough to submit to Equestria Daily. And it's really running into that point of better is the enemy of good enough, but it just jars me. I'm going to like record vocals and the guitar strum is a tenth of a beat off, and it's like, this will not do.
No, I feel your pain, bro.
And
If
it's
you've
all
ever
I can
heard
do.
Spangy's story regarding EQD, you know exactly how much of a foobar situation that whole thing is.
Are you talking about like the first fanfic I ever wrote? Which,
The one that you submitted to EQD, and they're like, this is crap, daddy.
oh yeah, that whole argument. Yeah, about how you and Tweak have both seen like things featured on Equestria Daily you would term as worse than mine.
I would. Worse is probably the most polite way of putting it in the loosest possible sense of the term worst. Or worse.
Yeah. And like that was like my first fan fiction attempt, and I pretty much decided after that point, I'm done submitting to Equestria Daily. If it gets submitted via a third party, like someone else is like, "Hey, has Equestria Daily seen this?" and I'm like, "No," and then they submit it for me, then that's fine. But I'm not dealing
That's
with
kind
it.
of what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping this music will be good enough, and I'll say link in the song or whatever. And this is a song for my fan fiction, which you should go read, because I don't think I'm really, at least not yet, submitting this story to UKD. Even
Well, see,
though
like,
Tweak says I should, and Dizzy says I should, and I'm like,
I say you
But-
should.
and you say I should too, but I don't want the banhammer to come down and crush my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, see, it's
You weren't using them anyway.
nothing I have against EQD personally. It's just some of their pre-readers seem to be very like out there. Like I don't get their logic for how they determine what's good enough.
I
Because
don't know. I'd be fine with it if they did a retroactive quality control on what's already on the page, because they still have a lot of old submissions from when they were first starting up that they accepted at the time because there wasn't all that large of a volume of fan fiction. And this is stuff that hasn't been... This is stuff that would completely, without any question, fail their quality control were it resubmitted right now, but it's still on there because nobody's gone through and cleaned it up.
right, but even now and again, you'll see something on their front page that isn't really termed that good. It's just a lot of people like it and it's already popular, so it kind of gets through. And that's kind of...
Herd mentality.
It's wrong.
It is kind of wrong. I mean, it's just... It's whatever, honestly. And it seems like any story that is... Like, I'm not... Okay, I'm going there. Any story that is decent, but incredibly long, like, it doesn't have to be a phenomenally well-written story, but it's a long story.
What word
Like,
count are we talking?
like, we're talking, like, something upwards of 50,000 words and still going. So anything that is a bigger project and constantly updating and is submitted in the early days of EQD, and as long as it's decent, it seems like it gets through. I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of just my impression.
Of course, that's not to say that there aren't a few things on there that aren't total gold. I mean, has anyone else here read Through the Eyes of Another Pony?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Honestly, like, I have mixed feelings about that story, because I love it, but at the same time I feel like I should hate it.
Why?
Just, I don't know. Just the way it's kind of written.
It had me laughing so hard I fell out of my chair. Okay?
That hasn't updated in a while, has it?
No, it hasn't, and I'm kind of drooling a little bit over the thought of it updating.
Salivating?
Nope, different word there, never mind.
Okay. But yeah, it's... I don't know, it just seems like... Like I said, I love it. I absolutely love the story. It's just... So many things people complain about in other stories are in this story. Yeah, something is different in the way the story presents those things. That it
has a way
it's good.
Of simultaneously taking itself seriously and yet not. That it can get around everything. I believe this is what we were discussing last night about lamp shading, Dizzy.
I think what you mean is you like the writing, but you don't like the style of writing.
No, it's... Okay, so some of the things people criticize the most in this fandom when it comes to fan fiction are self-inserts, human goes to Equestria, gets shipped with main 6 or princess or some major character, and becomes pony and rah rah rah, all that stuff. That is some of the biggest criticisms
Just
of
can't
fan
do that
fiction.
anymore.
No, you can't. But Through the Eyes of Another Pony does this. The main character is a human brought to Equestria, turned into a pony, gets shipped with Luna of all ponies, and like has magical powers like out the wazoo, and it's like it's great. I said, I love the story, but it does everything that the fandom chastises.
Okay, so we took everything that the fandom chastises, and that we're going to put that in like a 1-quart liquid measuring cup, and we'll pour that in the batch, and then we'll take the 5-gallon bucket full of comedy and dump that on top of that.
Yeah.
And now it is all okay because you can't taste any of the rest of it.
That's a good way of putting it, actually. It's not bad.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not about decent writing, it's about decent jokes.
But no matter how much horse is in a beef burger, there's still horse in the beef burger.
No,
I don't know, I've heard horse is quite tasty.
Moment from that is, so what happens if I lose the bet, Princess? Well, I get to turn your mane and your tail pink for an entire day. Alright, I agree. But if you lose, I get to tape a troll face over your cutie mark.
Yeah. Like I
God.
said, that happened.
Yes.
It's... Like I said, I love the story, but I feel like I should hate it. And I can't.
Witnessed a cow molesting a skeleton.
Dizzy is still playing Minecraft. Still, completely disregarding everything we are talking about here. But we love you. It's why we have you, Dizzy.
Make sure, Billies and Gentlecoats, to go out and hug an introvert today, because you will annoy Dizzy.
Yay! Annoying Dizzy!
I'll have to bring firearms to BronyCon to shoot you all.
I tell you what, Sage, you should have had the troll face as his punishment. You should have had R63 as a punishment.
R63.
I guess I just don't know that spell off the top of my head.
Rule 63 of the internet you are not familiar with. Okay.
No, I know what it is. I'm just saying, never mind.
Okay.
In character, I'm saying I don't know that spell.
For those at home.
For those at
home.
Spangle.
What?
Go ahead.
What? Oh, you want me to explain Rule 63?
I'll do it.
Is that what you want?
Explain it to everyone at home.
For the odd person who doesn't know what Rule 63 is at this point, if you've ever seen the character Duskshine or Prince Artemis, this is your gender-swapped version of any character. The character leads an entirely identical life in an identical setting, but 4chan Rule 63 states that, yes, you can gender bend them. And so
wasn't there like a fan fiction about Duskshine where like every pony wants all the main...
I'll get to that.
Okay.
With stories like this, like a personal favorite comedy called On Cross and Arrow here, you see the entire universe gender bent, and just see how it works like that. The Unexpected Love Life of Duskshine, on the other hand,
That one.
takes Rule 63 to just Twilight Sparkle, and leaves everything else as is. It follows the genre of the anime harem fic, because now you've got the entire other 5 of the main 6, and eventually Trixie, Luna, and occasionally odd others that are all crushing on this male version of Twilight Sparkle, who, in case you weren't aware, is every bit as geeky, nerdy, and hopelessly ununderstanding of the opposite gender as we can all imagine Twilight would be.
Yeah.
Like me, but as a magical pony in Equestria.
Yeah, and trying to make friends.
And trying to make friends.
Trying
There's
to
a
make
difference
friends,
there.
but they're all interested in more than friendship.
That's
It's not a bad
very
life.
awkward and something I would avoid.
Oh, it's
Oh,
incredibly
hi.
awkward. It's the kind of genre of story where I believe, and we're going back to TV Tropes one more time, they have a section for genre savvy. If you find yourself in any story, how to win at this story. And so, since I realized that Duskshine, Love Life of Duskshine, is a harem fic, I looked up that for anime, that kind of anime, and there's one rule in there that I just thought would be particularly applicable. If you are the love interest, and they have a whole list of advice, and one of them is, before I take a shower or a bath, I will first ensure that my house is empty. I will then lock the door. I will then clear my house again. I will then check the bathroom to make sure it is empty. I will lock the door. Then I will make sure it is empty again. I'll also make sure the window is closed and the curtains are shut. And then, only then, will I take my bath and or shower. And that really sums up the story. It's a really good comedy.
So yeah.
Smile and nod, smile and nod.
Smile and nod.
Oh, come on. After reading all this dark stuff that I normally read, is it really such a crime to want something that just makes you laugh at someone
Yes.
else's misfortunes?
No.
I suppose.
Eh,
I still say
I'm trying
yes.
to remember the last time I read a light-hearted, like solely, like no dark, no violence, not just a happy My Little Pony fanfic, and I'm trying to blank on that one.
Not in my Air Force, you don't?
Not My Air Force. You don't probably qualifies, but that one's not on FimFiction
All
any
right.
longer.
Digging
Got
up
pulled. It makes me sad.
Did it get pulled by? Did it get pulled by mods or did it get pulled by the author?
I do not know.
I don't know either.
All right, Spangle,
Yes.
the
Hi.
Blue Blood Chronicles. Have you read this yet?
You mean raising blue blood? Like
No.
bringing up blue blood? No.
Nope.
Okay.
This story is called The Blue Blood Chronicles. And
I have
it's
not.
probably after Duskshine and Through the Eyes of a Narapony. This is my third favorite comedy so far in the fandom. There you go. That's for later. This is lighthearted, I promise. It exploits the commonly overused but very enjoyable trope of blue blood is not actually a jerk.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
No, they go with a whole, well, since he's Celestia's nephew, and very rich, and he's a prince after all, I mean, come on, Prince Blue Blood.
Yes.
Every last mayor that has heard of him wants him, because he's
Okay.
as high position of a husband as they can possibly obtain. And he doesn't like being hit on by every last pony he runs into just because he has money. He wants love for love.
I see where this is going.
And so that's why he blows off everyone he runs into, including Rarity.
Yes. Okay. So,
Oh, yeah, Spangle, I know I told you, but for Dizzy and Red Sage, have you ever heard of a brony artist called Feather?
I mean, the singer?
Yep, the singer.
She's phenomenal.
I have an interview with her.
phenomenal.
I'm kind of slightly jealous, but not really, because I don't do jealousy.
Lies.
You don't do
I
jealousy.
do
Jealousy.
hatred. There's a difference between hatred and jealousy.
Did I even bring this up? Like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast, but let's just reiterate here. Ethereus, or Matt, here is our head of music. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that.
I
Alright?
mentioned that.
Okay. So yeah, he's doing stuff for the FOB now. Yay, we have a music division. It's only him.
It's only me. Hold the fort.
Well, I mean, you can bring on staff once you figure out what the hell you're doing, but
I've got an idea of what I'm doing, but I don't really need anyone else right now, but it might get hectic later on.
yeah, we'll see. Anyway, music. Yay.
Bengals expecting you to fail.
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
I would. I have.
so speaking of failures, Sweet Apple Acres Con. That kind of
God.
failed. That
Miserably.
yeah, that was bad. It's unfortunate. Like, it's just kind of a problem with having so many first-time conventions, and so many conventions around each other during the same time frame and close to the same area too. I mean, it's just a lot of people want to do a convention, but they have no experience running conventions or organizing conventions or getting finances sorted for conventions, and so they have good intentions, but just none of the practical skills, and they don't really reach out to people with the skills. So I guess it's just a matter of people not having any idea what they're doing, and people need to stop that. Just needs to stop. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the fact it might be somewhat detrimental to the community to have so many conventions, but at the same time, it's kind of fun to have so many conventions. But still, if you don't know what you're doing, you should probably not try it. By yourself, anyway. You should probably bring on people with experience. And make sure it doesn't get all foobar and that good stuff. But a convention we all know is going to succeed is BronyCon, because they know what they're doing. BronyCon!
I can't wait for the car ride.
So, Matt, you're going to that, right? Are you stateside for that?
Do you know how much planes cost for Scotland to the US? Honestly.
Wait.
$50 million and new.
King Harold's going. You have no excuse. He's in Norway. He's farther.
I'm in an economic collapse.
Fair
I'm
enough.
trapped.
Bengal will
I'm
lend you
trapped
a
under
rowboat and a
economic
pair of
rubble.
oars.
I will lend him a what?
A rowboat and a pair of oars.
A rowboat
That's all you need to get across the pond.
and
I
a pair
forgot to
of
make torches.
ours. Okay.
Find
Yeah.
the sea ponies, bring them with you.
Doo-be-doo.
Choop-choop-be-doo. Anyway.
Travel plans. You know, I was going for a nice nonstop flight from Denver to Baltimore for BronyCon, and then somebody who might be in this podcast convinced me that it might be cheaper, and yes, it turned out to be an entire $80 cheaper to fly to his city and then carpool with a poor him that doesn't like putting up with me for about 20 hours. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this, Dizzy. You do realize.
It's only 17, you settle down.
Okay, that's assuming we don't stop for anything. And we all know how well that works out.
Fuel. You need to pee, there's a friggin' bottle in the corner.
Whoa. Okay, then. I'm glad I'm not there for this.
The other part I'm really looking forward to is, apparently because my parents thought it would be cool, and I'm off on my last summer break ever, I'm going to bartender school next week.
I heard
And so
about this.
I think the funny part is that apparently all you older than 21 types are going out after one of the days, and I'm going to probably be like the only, it's funny to say, but bartender on staff and not able to join you. Sad face.
Oh, the irony of life.
Curses! Foiled at life again.
Hey, I'm not 21.
Spangle, have you heard if anybody from this from FOB is going to Buck?
I think I know King was originally, but I don't know I don't know all the details on that. I think for whatever reason he's no longer going, but I'm not entirely sure.
I heard bad things from Miche about Buck, because he said they turned down King Harold for a press pass to go around and interview people or something like that.
There was some sort of falling out between him and the staff. Like, apparently one of the staff didn't like him or his attitude or I don't know. They didn't like his face or something. I don't know.
I think Harold's a nice enough guy.
He is. Honestly, I've never had any issue with the guy. So I don't know what happened, but apparently there was a bit of a falling out between him and one of the other guys. And apparently the other guys had enough pull to where they just kind of screwed him over or something. But like I said, I don't know the details. So I'm just going to not say any more on this because, like I said, I have no idea exactly what happened. and I'm not going to perpetuate rumor. And all I know is I don't know what I know is I don't know what his status is on if he's attending or not. But I do know he is no longer involved with the staff there. And I do know that I have also heard that, yes, he is not getting a press badge. So, like I said, for the more details, you'll have to ask him about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway, BronyCon, on the other hand, has graciously given us, 9 press badges.
Yeah, Silver just being a boss about this.
Yep. And we actually have a lot going on. We recently made a post on our website, which you should probably go check out, about us taking part in a charity run. It is a 5K, which is equivalent to about 3.2 miles or something like that.
And I'm just going to say this right now so everyone can laugh at us when we don't win, but we're going to win. We're not running for speed. It's a formation run.
I was going to say, first of all, we're running formation, and second of all, I wasn't aware it was a competition being a charity run.
It's always a competition.
There you go.
Okay, then.
Do you not know how these things work?
Apparently not.
And we're letting Tweak call all the Jodies, right?
Probably.
Oh my, yes.
And we do have some running cadences lined up, so it's going to be a good time.
If Z Out is here, I'm going to insist that he calls his cadence.
His cadence. Got it.
Ha!
But
I'll link you to this. So yeah, count, cadence, delay, cadence, count.
Well, anyway, so the whole point was the fact that this is something you have to register for. You have to sign up for this. And that was the point of the post, was instructions on how to do this.
How do we do that?
You should probably
How much is
do
it,
that.
Spangle?
How much is it? What do you mean? Are you talking about the whole...
It costs
is there
money.
an entry or anything?
Yes. Yeah, it costs you money.
Yeah, I don't know the amount, though.
It's like
$75.
70. No, it's like 75?
But it's for charity. It's for
Yeah,
a
I
good
didn't need
cause.
that money anyway.
Charity, hooray!
Just like a freaking college student here.
I
Don't need
mean,
money at all. Not like gasoline costs money.
I didn't have to buy a con badge, so... I
did.
I hope they're refunding me.
They are.
Oh, okay. Well, in that
If
case,
you-
yes, I'm definitely registering for this run.
I mean, I think Dizzy's the only one here who isn't getting a press badge.
Nope.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm a younger sibling. I'm used to not getting anything I want.
Well, I mean, you volunteered it up. I was going to have you and Red do death battle and sort that out, but...
Except for I asked for it, so...
And Dizzy offered to give it to you.
I did.
Don't worry, I'll take everything in video on my iPod and show you anything that you might find interesting, which will probably be very little afterwards.
Of what, the death battle?
No, just whatever the press pass gets me into.
Yeah. Don't worry.
You'll have to sneak me in your luggage.
We can still death battle anyway if you want.
Doing this.
Death battle!
I mean, since no one else will be around on the drive, we can have a rap battle. I mean, since it's just us two white guys in the car, no one will know how bad it sounds.
Really?
I can barely talk normally. What makes you think I can rhyme? I can.
Oh no.
By the way.
So, yeah. Okay, so I think we've officially announced, 3 things we're doing at Fiesta?
Yeah.
Wow.
You mean BronyCon?
BronyCon! I'm tired. Anyway, so the run, the luncheon, and which, to clarify, it is a reverse luncheon. We are providing lunch for basically the staff who put together the BronyCon documentary, the staff who will be there.
Documentary?
Don't criticize me.
Has the accent on the wrong syllable.
And then the panel. And there was a 4th thing, but I'm trying to remember what it was.
The March In?
Oh yeah, the March On. That's also been
That's gonna be
announced.
friggin' awesome.
So
I want to make this clear.
Yes.
Saunterer has personally told, I believe at one point, everyone here that if anyone brings uniform anything, he will beat us up when we get there. What can I get an official? How does that go?
You're
What
in
do you
uniform,
mean?
Tweak, and Josh Scorcher will kill you.
And there's
Okay.
also a Marine Corps drill sergeant probably going to be there.
You mean drill instructor?
Drill instructor. Whatever.
Okay, so even for the run or anything, absolutely nothing.
Well, for the charity run, the idea has been tossed around since it is kind of allowed is the PT uniform. But that's about it. That's like the extent.
All right. That way. Okay.
So,
Just so we're
PT
clear
would
on
look
that,
way
so
better than friggin' Skittles.
So
Skittles.
I'm not the one who shows up breaking all this, hey guys, followed by, this is where in a cartoon just everything goes to smoke and I come out just broken bones and beat up and,
Ow,
what
ow.
did we tell you, Red?
no, there's no wearing of your fatigues, of your dress uniform, of anything at this convention.
Okay.
You know what? I just want to say, I want to dare someone to do it, because when they get lit up... Oh, crap.
When they get lit up, I will record it.
When they get lit up, I will laugh so hard.
We'll videotape it, man. It will be great.
You will
Exactly.
you will audibly be able to hear their soul just shatter. They will walk away from it and hate their life. Anyway,
It'd
so
be fun times.
Fun
for everyone
times.
Watching.
fun time, yeah, for everyone watching. But
Big.
it's just we have a lot of rank showing up to this thing, so not the least of which is an E8 senior master sergeant, and I'm sure there's some officers that are going to be attending too.
Really?
Well, I mean, there were a couple officers at Fiesta Equestria we talked to. So
Darn.
yeah, darn. But anyway, yeah. So conventions, good times. Like I said, I think those are the 4 things we have really big planned. I know we are also planning on at the luncheon presenting like plaques done by Spike Firemain to basically honorary members of our of the military brony community. Just that's gonna be good. So.
Are we also going to hand out coins to the voice actors, or has that already been done?
Well, we started that at Fiesta. At Fiesta Equestria,
Yeah.
we
You
got...
got to talk to Kelly Metzger.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
I don't know who that is.
Voice of Spitfire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. The Spitfires had like 10 voices.
Yeah, but
The American voice of Spitfire.
The American voice of
Spangle
Spitfire
was
has
in.
about 5 different voices.
Spangle was in, if you know what I mean. Ah.
No.
No.
No. Anyway,
No.
Nope.
Just no,
So-
he
no,
moves
no.
on.
we got... at Fiesta, we did coin... we coined Ashley Ball, and we did coin... I'm pretty sure we got Ashley before she jetted. She was only there for one day.
I had the best idea.
What?
I need one of these coins to give away as my salute coin.
Well, you're
But-
FOB staff, so you're getting one for free.
Yeah, you're already
Probably
getting
shouldn't have
one.
said that. Now everyone's gonna like murder me in my sleep to get my coin.
They don't know where you are. Like, they
Well,
only
I'm
know
talking,
you
like,
as
at
Dizzy.
BronyCon.
Oh. Well, everyone...
Oh, that's another skeleton. Why are
I
there
just
so
think
many
it's going to
skeletons?
be hilarious. And whoever said Ulysses is going to be really confused. What kind of coin is this?
Challenge coins!
I got
Whee!
murdered by 5 skeletons.
If you don't know what a challenge
not
coin
end
is, it's
well.
something you can look up. But, anyway, so yeah, BronyCon's going to be fun. Because basically, the majority of the FOB EQ staff is going to be there. Like, we're going to have a strong presence. And we're going to be doing lots of con coverage and getting interviews and all
In
that
short,
stuff.
this is your chance to meet your royal guard, bronies.
Yeah, kind of. I
Bad
wonder...
joke.
Yeah, it kind of was. You should
We
feel
kick
bad.
Ass and
I do
take
feel bad,
mains.
okay?
Ah? No? Bad? Good.
What?
Kick ass and take mains.
Okay.
You see it?
Now I'm not the only one who's made bad jokes now.
Yay!
I feel better about
Pony
It's
it.
a
puns.
prerequisite for our staff. You gotta
Thank
make
you,
bad
Aetherius.
puns.
I love
No
bad
problem,
puns.
mate.
I love
No problem.
puns of all sorts. Puns are like my favorite kind of joke. But yeah.
So will me and Harold be getting coins as well? Because it must have to pay a lot for shipping to get to.
No, it's
other
not too
shipping.
bad from what I understand. Like
Shipping
that's
in that country isn't. They don't write a lot of ship fics there, so it's actually pretty easy to get a good.
Bad
So-
jokes have just been increased by a factor of 1.
Aha! The pun has been doubled.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
I lost all my crap underground because I just got shot by
Dizzy
a
is still
skeleton.
playing
Now I gotta
Minecraft.
Find it.
and we still, I don't
Still
think we've
sucking
like
in
talked
Minecraft.
about. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Pun note.
Found it.
Do you guys Tumblr Pony? Any of you guys
Yes,
read, like the
of
large
course.
collections? Do you know Pun Pony?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
I love puns. They're so. They're just. I made a bad pun. You just reminded me. I made a bad pun in some of my editor's comments on one of your fics. On chapter 2.
Okay, digging up the link now.
You said. You commented on something being cheesy. And I said, I don't know. I think it works great.
Oh, I remember this.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't even get it. For shame on me. I feel really bad now.
I feel like we're just like constantly perpetuating puns and like increasing the pun factor on the staff the more we use them.
It's gotten bad.
It's gotten really bad, but I love it.
We have a problem.
It's like the best kind of
first step.
problem.
The first step is to admit you have a problem. I think we can make a good living in this, guys. Become bad humor counselors.
See, I don't
fucking
even
unicorn.
conceive, like, I don't even perceive this as a problem. I think this is awesome. It's because, like, puns are my favorite kind of humor. They really are. And just because of how bad they are. The worse the joke.
I do love the mindless puns where you just have to facepalm so hard because it's such a horrible joke.
Yes.
You're still laughing at it.
Yep. That's exactly what I love about puns. Just the facepalm factor. It is the best kind of humor for, well, like I said, in my opinion.
I don't know. I like Air Force jokes.
Air Force joke?
He's still a cadet. He'll learn.
He is still a cadet.
But I like Army jokes too. No?
I kind of like Navy jokes the best, just because Navy makes it too goddamn easy.
And engineer jokes. Those are the very best. If you've got any of those, send them my way, please.
I showed you that one picture a while back. That was a picture of like the Large Hadron Collider in Holland, is it? And it had
Underneath, but yeah.
the caption to the picture was, "Without engineering, science is just philosophy."
No,
Hey guys. How many pilots does it take to change a light bulb?
No, and they just make the friggin' crew chiefs do it.
Nope, just one. He holds the bulb, and the world revolves around him.
You know, I've heard
Wow.
this one before, but it was narcissist instead of pilot. I see what you did there.
Yeah, because all pilots are narcissists. This, like, the Air Force always makes fun of how self-centered and all-important pilots make themselves out to be.
He didn't salute me. Dude, he's a lieutenant colonel. Wait, you pilots really believe this crud, don't you?
They're not good people.
Hey, I've met a few decent pilots.
I have, but I also met the friggin' pilots who walk off my plane, hand me a broken part, and say sorry, and walk away.
Yeah.
5 hours later, you're half done. It's like, air crew.
Air crew!
So what I'm getting is just one more reason why the two of you are really going to be hating on me in a couple of years.
Well, as long as you're not air crew, you're fine.
Yeah,
Mostly.
mostly. I had a...
They're just gonna be fine, because Sage is just gonna be a carpenter. Like, you're not even air crew, just, like, you're like those finance people. No one can take you seriously.
Wow. That's
Ouch.
harsh.
You know, guys, when the Navy secures a building, they turn out the lights and they lock the hatches. When the Army secures a building, they post sentries and check ID cards. When Marines secure a building, they call in airstrikes and assault through the objective using fire and close combat. But when the Air Force secures a building, they get a 4-year lease with the option for 4 more years.
Okay.
Remember that one.
Okay.
Jokes like that make me think, Miche, you're hating on the Air Force so much, you just signed on the wrong branch. Oh crap, it's a skeleton.
Yeah, he really does. It's always funny when Mache makes like a joke about the Air Force and like compares it to the Marine Corps, and I'm like, dude, you realize the irony here of he's an IT guy and I'm the one doing grunt work. Yeah, I'm in the Air Force and he's in the Marines.
Did I ever tell you guys my branches generals joke?
Maybe.
No.
I think you told me, but you can go ahead.
All right, well, see if I can do this. And
Because this is apparently
Atheris,
comedy hour now.
I will avoid using the announcer voice for the sake of your desk smashed face.
I can't face desk. There's too much stuff in the way. There is a microphone right here.
Don't
Okay.
worry, he's prettier after he faced desk.
See? What did I say? What did I say before this pop? Blah blah blah
Blah, blah, blah,
blah blah blah.
Do you use words?
That's what the creeper.
Use
please
your
no.
words, dude. Okay, skipping over that. So we get the generals from each one of the branches to sit down and decide once and for all who has the toughest enlisted corps. And we're not including Coast Guard here. I'm really sorry for any Coasties.
No, Puddle Pirates.
Coast Guard's Department of Transportation. They don't count.
But I'd honestly include some part of that, but that's just not how I heard the joke. So anyway, the Fleet Admiral of the Navy goes first and says, "I'll show you how tough our boys are. Seaman, I want you to build me a raft, sail across the lake, climb the cliff the other side, and bring me the flower that grows at the top." And the Navy enlisted guy goes, "Aye, sir." He proceeds to do so. He chops down trees, takes out some vines, wraps them around the logs, sails across the lake, free climbs the cliff the other side, picks the flower, comes back, and gives it to the Admiral. And the Admiral's sitting at the conference table looking pretty happy with this. And General of the Army goes, that's nothing. Private, I want you to do everything he just did. Except for when you get to the top, I want you to cross the jungle, climb the volcano there, the other side, and bring me a lava rock from the top. Yes, sir, screams the Army enlisted man. He proceeds to do so. He does everything the Navy enlisted guy does, but he also treks the better part of a day through an entire jungle, climbs a volcano, and gets a cooled off pieces of obsidian and brings it on back. And now the Army general's got this rock sitting on the table and just looking at the Navy Admiral going, "Ha, you can't put anything on our boys." And the Marine general looks at the rock and spits on it and goes, "That's nothing. Private, I want you to do everything the Army private just did, except for you don't get to build a raft. You have to swim that lake. I want 10 lava rocks from the top. And I still want them to be hot when you get back." "Aye, sir," screams the Marine private, and he proceeds to do so. And so now that you got a chunk of molten rock burning a hole in the conference table, everyone's looking at the General of the Air Force going, how is he going to top this? And the Air Force General just smiles and says, "Let me show you just how brave our boys are. Airmen, I want you to do everything the Marine private just did." "Well, fuck you, sir."
That sounds like the Air Force to me. About right. Yay, service jokes.
At its finest.
The Air Force at its finest. Indeed. The best and brightest.
Real balls to swear off your friggin' general.
Hey, but do you know how to break up a bingo game in Iraq?
Huh. Soccer?
Call it B-52.
Oh. Yeah, the general
The
humor
B-52
here.
is not a good plane.
The B1 also works, and the B2 is also acceptable.
You know, the bullet can have your name on it, but a grenade is addressed to whomever it may concern.
Indeed it is.
The best type of marine is a submarine.
I am poisoned.
Take that, Mache. Take that, Mache.
Ooh.
Wow.
I can feel Mache's jimmies being rustled.
He's like,
And I bet it feels good to you, doesn't it?
I guarantee, he's like tossing in his sleep right now, because he is sleeping. He said he was
You
going
wake
to
up- you wake
bed.
up
He's having a nightmare.
He wakes up. I can sense it. Matt's bad-mouthing the Marine Corps.
He's just like, for some reason, I want to punch Aetherius. I have no idea why.
I have no idea. But for some reason, I just want to cause him intense bodily harm. Just something.
Intense.
Intense bodily harm.
Like in the middle of the forest. Made out of nylon.
What?
Nothing.
What?
And
I think we're all missing the
like a
reference here.
tent.
Oh.
You have a tent, like you go camping in a tent. Nothing.
That was the sound of
Anti-joke.
me face palming
Anyone?
twice.
Anyone?
I get it now.
Bueller. Anyone?
Screw you too.
Screw you.
Didn't want to be part of this group anyway.
It's
Well,
okay.
you've been
Marines
here-
are better. Just ask the sailor's wife.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, this begs something I think I've told Spangle. I was on the Air Force Memes Facebook page a while ago.
This
and
is a
I may have
Facebook
said-
page?
That
There
is
was an
bad,
Air Force
it's okay,
Memes
bad.
Facebook page. And I think I may have said this on the previous FOB podcast, so forgive me if I have, but fact. 9 out of 10 Air Force wives weigh at least 50 pounds more than their husbands. Fact. 9 out of 10 Army wives are murdered by their husbands. Fact. 9 out of 10 Marine Corps wives are sleeping with other guys while their husbands are deployed. Fact. 9 out of 10 Navy wives are men.
Oh, Navy.
I'm just waiting for all the hate mail that's going to arrive in my inbox after this thing goes live.
So why does
No,
the Navy use powdered soap?
Oh, I know this one.
Because it
Takes longer to pick up.
when you drop it in the shower.
Guys. 3 Marines. Oh, Michelle's gonna kill me for this. 3 Marines were walking through the forest when they came upon a set of tracks. The first Marine said, "Those are deer tracks." The second Marine says, "Hell no, those are elk tracks." "You're both wrong," said the third Marine. "Those are moose tracks." The Marines were still arguing when the train hit them.
You know, back when I was in elementary school and didn't know what the Marines were, that was a blonde joke.
Well, if you take any blonde joke and take out the word blonde and insert the word marine, it kind of
Still
works.
applies.
It applies. Again.
This brings back so many memories of old bad jokes that the teacher would yell at you for telling. So you kill a blonde by putting the scratch and sniff sticker at the bottom of the swimming pool?
Yeah, that
Heard
works.
that one.
And I'm just mentally imagining all this with Marine in that
No,
place. and
instead of on a swimming pool, you just stick it on the bottom of the ship.
I'm
Hey,
trying
guys.
not to die over here.
When the troops hit the beach, the Royal Marines go fishing, the US Marines wait for CNN to arrive, the Australians just watch the Russians and Germans, the British Army cannot come because all 6 of them have flu, the Texans look for anyone bad-mouthing them, the Pakistanis build a Motel 6 and convenience store and gas station. Jimmy Carter arrives and declares peace, and George W. Bush doesn't know where the island is, so he orders the US Air Force to bomb Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, that's harsh.
But it's funny that we are so bad-mouthing the Marines on this podcast, and there's not a single Marine to be found.
I feel kind of bad about that.
No, I'm just, it's like a time bomb now. It's like
Actually, in this case, that would be a personnel problem.
a personnel problem. I see what you did there. Da-dum.
Just to have your face on the camera, it's like, "Hey, Michelle, come at me."
Well, it's funny because we have 3 Marines on our staff, and none of them are here to defend themselves, and it's like a ticking time bomb at this point.
It's out of curiosity.
They're gonna
Just out-
listen to this. They're gonna listen to this podcast.
Oh, they
They're
don't
gonna
listen
freak
to the
out.
podcasts. Piss off.
Nobody listens to the podcast.
They'll never know. Well, they'll know if they read the comments, because I know they do that. And they'll be like, "What? Marine jokes?" And then they're
Oh,
Between him
no.
and between friggin' Firebrand and Sandra and their banhammer, it's like, jeez.
Oh shit.
the banhammer of Thor.
again, it's just funny
Mjolnir.
that, like, our Air Force guys on the staff. I mean, Red, you're a cadet, but you also were training to become a special tactics or combat rescue guy, and that's not an easy job. I know that much. So you were doing that hardcore training, and Dizzy and I do grunt work fixing planes. And yeah, all
Our
our
Marines, one is studying physics.
well, see,
And-
2 of our Marines, Michelle and Sonderhoofs, yeah, they're both basically IT guys for the Marine Corps. Basically. And Josh is in the Marine Corps band. And so, like...
They try to badmouth us, but what can they say?
I know, it's
We're
funny.
turning wrenches while they're friggin' blowing
Rock a
other dudes. I
marathon
mean,
with
bugles.
me, bro.
It's just... we love them. Don't get us wrong
we
to
love
anyone
our
who's
Marines.
listening on the
I'm
on the
incapable
podcast.
of love.
Okay, well, I brag about the Marines all the time because they're awesome.
Yeah, the Marines are pretty awesome, but it's just funny anytime one of the Marines on our staff tries to give us shit. for being in the Air Force, and we're like,
Because it doesn't happen.
I'm like, so what? Wait, what? It totally happens all the time. Mache
No,
just
I'm
today.
saying it's rebuttal.
Oh.
Rebuttal.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I was just gonna say, Mache today was just trying to give us flack for being in the Air Force or something of that degree, and I was just like, I'm sorry, what do you do with the Marine Corps? What's going wrong, Dizzy?
And then
I'm getting ambushed by skeletons and zombies.
And he is
Yeah,
still playing
Any
Minecraft.
help?
He's been
speaking
playing
of
Minecraft
Marines,
this entire podcast.
I have something a little funny to bring up. I don't know if anybody knows Anarch Pony, or he's a Lancey stationed in Hawaii right now as a helicopter mechanic, and I don't know why he graduated like the top of his class or something like that, and that's why he got stationed in Hawaii. But now he's doing all the paperwork and filling out all the forms so he can get transferred to infantry.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like,
Why?
even more man points to your already hefty man card, man. But
I get.
That's anti-man points. You've got
That's
a
like-
great friggin' job. Why do you want to be infantry?
Well, I was gonna say
Nobody wants to be infantry.
I take offense to that because apparently, man points are associated with stupid points.
Hell yeah,
I mean-
the general.
Just
the last person to try and take my man card was Dizzy, but that was for a good reason because I didn't know a cool band. But the person before him tried to take my man card for being a pony person, and I PT'd until he puked.
yeah.
And he gave it back. So, man cards. This brings up a topic. I've always wanted to write a man card list, like rules for man points, add, subtract, how many.
Does
what
jumping
offenses-
out of a perfectly good airplane go on this list?
Oh, of course it does.
Okay,
And
cool, I've got
there's
that
got to
one.
be a list of items, though, that permanently revoke your man card, and of course there will be an opposite number that permanently guarantee your man card. And I just sat down and wondered, what can I put on this list? And almost everything has some value to it.
Because
No?
even if you want to go, okay, whatever. I really don't feel like going down this road,
Aw, okay.
especially since we are coming up on the hour, and I'm tired, and I should
And
really.
I've got to go soon.
And yeah, Red also has stuff to do, don't you?
We have been FOB Equestria. Thanks for listening, everyone.
This has been
what
us
Don't be
randomly
whipping out on me
ranting.
now.
Wait, what?
Here, I'll actually say it this time, Spangle.
What?
This is FOB Equestria, Lieutenant Red Sage talking Semper Philly, everyone.
Dizzy, you can say goodbye now too. I guess
I
Aetherius already
hate
said.
all of you anyway.
Yeah.
Don't try to kill me in my sleep. Kill you back.
He'll come back as a ghost and murder you.
Signing off, 2 Highlanders, Semper Philly, everyone.
2 Islanders. What?
2 Highlanders.
Oh, two Highlanders.
Like the song
Yes.
Oh my god.
Highlander by
really?
Lost Horizon. The
No.
song they'll put chest hair in your chest hair.
I am familiar with the song, okay? Yes, this has been a FOB Equestria Podcast, completely random podcast, which is arguably one of the best kinds, some people would say. But
We have no idea what we're talking about.
we have no idea what we're doing. Oh my gosh. This is Spangle, signing off.